Friends and viewers, good day. John Steinbeck, a very famous writer, had written another famous novel, East of Eden. This is a very interesting and it is an allegoric novel with a double meaning. And the story of the novel starts, and in the late 19th century, a man named Samuel Hamilton settles in the Salinas Valley in Northern California. He brings a strict but loving wife, Lisa, with him from Ireland. Although Samuel is well respected in the community, he never becomes a wealthy man. The Hamiltons go on to have 9 children and become prominent family in the valley. So what happened that Adam Trask, another character, meanwhile settles in the valley with his pregnant wife, Kathy, where he eventually becomes friends with Samuel Hamilton before moving to California. Adam lives on a farm in Connecticut with his half-brother, Charles. The dark and moody Charles resent the fact that his and Adam's father, Cyrus, has always favored the good-natured Adam. Upon his death, Cyrus leaves his son a large and unexpected fortune, probably stolen during his days as an administrator in the U.S. Army. Despite their newfound wealth, Adam and Charles remain unable to get along. Charles is disgusted at his brother's marriage to Kathy, who, unbeknownst to Adam or Charles, is a former prostitute who murdered her parents and stole their money. Although Charles despises Kathy, he takes her into his bed after she drugs Adam on their wedding night. Adam and Kathy move to California as Adam proves unable to live peacefully with Charles in Connecticut. In Salinas, Kathy learns she is pregnant and attempts to abort her baby in order to prevent any furtherance of ties to her husband. She is desperate to escape Adam despite the fact that he loves her and provides for her. The abortion is unsuccessful and Kathy eventually gives birth to twins, Aaron and Caleb as Call. It is clear from the start, however, that Kathy does not care about the infants and wants to leave the household as soon as possible. One day, Kathy shoots Adam, flees the house, and moves to Salinas proper to resume her life as prostitute. Adam decides to cover for Kathy by lying to the local sheriff and saying that his gunshot wound was an accident. So then what happened? Further, Kathy wins the trust of the Fai, the madam of the local brothel, then poisons her and fools the doctors and other prostitutes into thinking that Fai died naturally. Kathy assumes control of the brothel and starts to blackmail powerful men in Salinas with photographs of them performing sadomasochistic sex act with her and her prostitutes. To protect the dazed Adam and his twin boys, neither Samuel Hamilton nor Lee Adams' housekeeper tells Adam or the boys that Kathy works at a brothel. As the twins grow older, Aaron manifests his father's good heart, whereas Cole exhibits his mother's ruthlessness and tendency to manipulate. By the time they reach early adolescence, however, Cole actively struggles against his dark side and prays to God to make him more like Aaron. Adam, meanwhile, remains melancholy and listless for years after Kathy's departure. In order to jolt Adam out of his despondency, Samuel finally tells him the truth about Kathy. Samuel dies soon afterward. After Samuel's funeral, Adam visits Kathy at the brothel. Her deteriorating body and cynical, vulgar talk make Adam realize that he can now move on and forget her, as she is a repugnant creature who has become irrelevant to his life. Kathy, however, is desperate to retain power over Adam. She even offers to have sex with him to keep him in the brothel and prove that he is no better than she. Adam refuses and leaves with a serene smile. After his triumph over Kathy, Adams became a livelier and more committed father to his boys. Adam decided to move the family of the ranch and into the town of Salinas so that Aaron and Carl can attend school. The twins are assigned to the 7th grade and Aaron begins a relationship with Abra, the good-hearted daughter of a corrupt county supervisor. Carl continues to struggle with his dark side, and when he finally happens to discover the truth about his mother, he believes that her evil has been passed down to him. But Adam's housekeeper Lee, who has extensively researched the biblical story of the Cain and Abel, advises Carl that God intends each individual to choose his own moral destiny rather than to be constrained by the legacy of his parents. This idea, encapsulated by the Hebrew word timshal, meaning thou mayest, counters Carl's fatalistic idea that he has inherited his mother's evil and sin. Aaron gradually withdraws into religious fervor in order to shield himself from the corruption of the world, an approach that Abra and Lee considered cowardly. Adam, meanwhile, squandered the family fortune on a poor executed business venture involving refrigerated shipping of the vegetable. Aaron graduated from high school early and left for Stanford University. Adam misses Aaron terribly, thinking him smarter and more ambitious than Carl. However, Carl, in collaboration with Will Hamilton, one of the Samuel's sons, worked secretly to earn back the fortune his father lost on the failed refrigeration business. Carl also hopes to make enough money to pay for Aaron's tuition at Stanford. In the strained economy of the World War I, Will and Carl buy beans from a local farmer at an unfairly low price and sell the beans. In turn to desperate British buyer at an unfairly high price, the venture nets Carl thousands of dollars, which he plans to give to his father as a gift at Thanksgiving. Aaron is miserable at Stanford, comes home for Thanksgiving. Aaron is thrilled to see Adam is thrilled to see Aaron, but appalled by the Carl's gift of money. Adam considers the money to be earned dishonestly and tells Carl to give it back to the farmer from whom he stole it. Enraged and jealous of Adam's obvious preference for Aaron, Carl loses control of his anger and rashly tells Aaron the truth about their mother, Kathy. When Carl takes Aaron to the brothel to show him that Kathy is still alive, the revelation crushes the fragile Aaron, who screams incoherently and runs away. The next day, the shattered Aaron joins the army, while Kathy, horrified by her son's reaction to her, commits suicide by overdosing on morphine. She leaves her entire fortune, part of it inherited from Charles, part of it earned through blackmailing and prostitution to Aaron. When Adam discovered that Aaron has joined the army, he lapses into the state of shock. Lee talks to Call about the idea of Themshel and urge Call to remember that despite his guilt, he is a normal, flawed human being, not an aberrant embodiment of the evil. This discussion makes Call feel somewhat better, and he is able to begin a relationship with Abra, who is no longer in love with Aaron. A telegram arrives informing the family that Aaron has been killed in World War I. Adam has a severe stroke upon hearing the news, and Lee brings Abra and Call to see Adam on his deathbed. Lee informed Adam that the guilt-stricken Call told Aaron about their mother only because Call was convinced that their father loved Aaron more than him. Lee asked Adam to offer his blessing to Call before he dies. At this, Adam raises his hand and whispers the single word, Themshel, in Hebrew. So this is the tragic history of the Adam's family east of the Eden by John Steinbeck. And it is an allegoric novel, and a very tragic one also. It is perhaps a very meaningful and a very serious novel ever written, along with other great novels by John Steinbeck. Thank you very much for the patient listening. I hope you will enjoy it when you go through the pages. Thank you.